Hello, hello. Welcome, and thank you so much for joining. And when you come in, please say hello so I know that you are here. And if you're watching the replay, don't forget to give me a hashtag replay in the comments so that I know that you stopped by. So today is quite an exciting day. I'd like to talk to you about letting go. And the majority of the people that have asked me about this have had a focus on letting go of past relationships. And what I can tell you is that while this does work for relationships, hey Tracy, hi, nice to see you. While this does work for relationships, it can also work for anything else as well. So if you remember my story from Wednesday about, hey Erica, if you remember my story from Wednesday, this past Wednesday, about the guy that effectively stole my business, I used that on this process, these techniques in that situation as well. So it can be used in multiple scenarios. So I hope that this will help you. So those of you who have known me for a while kind of know my story, but for those of you who maybe don't yet, I'll give you a quick rundown. Whew. Okay, so I was married before, and he was my best friend. And sure, we had our issues just like most other married couples do. You know, I swept a lot under the rug, made excuses for poor behavior, that sort of thing. And one day we decided to sell everything and move overseas. You know, we moved from South Africa to Bangkok, where I'm at now, and less than a year after we arrived in Bangkok, it was about 2 weeks short of our 11-year anniversary, he just decided, it's over, it's done. So now, bearing in mind, I'm in a brand new country. I have no friends, no family, no support system. And here is the one person that promised to love me and protect me and care for me, and he's basically throwing me away like a used dish towel. I mean, I was devastated, right? I felt rejected, I felt abandoned, betrayed. I felt like my entire world had come crashing down around me. I mean, I went into a major depression, understandably. He even took the dog. Oh, it's buffering badly? Do you mean like the sound? Is the sound like quivering or something? I know that was an issue last time. Let me unplug the microphone and see if that helps. Erica, is that better? Can you hear me nicely? I'll just wait. There's a bit of a lag on the comments, so let's see. Oh yeah? Okay, Tracy, you say it's fine on your side. Okay, cool. All right, well, I hope you guys can still hear me because I've had to unplug the microphone. So just, if you can't hear me, let me know. So crossing fingers. Some technical difficulties, and it's not even Mercury retrograde yet. Okay, so lagging. Okay, Erica, yeah. So lagging would be an issue with the internet connectivity. So it's probably that. I'm gonna go ahead and re-plug the microphone back in just in case. That sound okay now? I hope so. Anyway, let me continue with my story. So I think, I was telling you that I went into quite a major depression, and I think I mentioned that he even took my dog. So, I mean, the depression that I was going through went on for a few months. And one day I just woke up and I thought, there must be more to life than this. I'm tired of feeling this way. It was one of the hardest things that I've ever been through. And so I ended up going back to all of my self-development work, and I started meditating again. I started doing the deep introspection that was needed for me to try and understand my part and what went wrong. And I mean, seriously, there was a lot of blame and guilt, going on inside of me more than anything else. And, I recognized my victim mentality at the time fortunately, because I guess of all the years of personal development work that I had done, so I, at this point, I had a very acute awareness of the like really bad thoughts that were going through my mind, like all the time. So I decided that the best place to start would be to look for the lessons that basically, that took place over that past 11 years. So that would ensure that I didn't make the same mistakes again going forward. And that seemed to be sort of the easiest place to start because, I was heavily beating up on myself, and I thought that if I had done things differently, if I had, fought harder to keep the relationship, I mean, it was a laundry list of things, right? There were a ton of things that I overlooked or swept under the rug. And anyway, so cut a long story short, so I decided to step out of myself and have a look at the situation from an outside perspective. And in that way, I came up with even more lessons from the situation that I could learn from, right? And then next, with the knowing and understanding that gratitude is the highest vibrational frequency that you can be vibrating at, for lack of a better word, I decided that I should look for the gratitude in the relationship. And, what were all the good things that being with this person for 11 years has basically afforded me? So that that looked like, he'd taken me on holidays to different countries that I'd never been to before. And, he taught me a lot about building a business and finance stuff that I wasn't very strong at. And I think, he taught me what I didn't want in a relationship. That was another big thing. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. The list took a while to write. I probably took about 2 to 3 weeks to write this. And I didn't want to push myself too hard at that time, because giving myself that space and time to reflect and really truly be present with myself in the situation, that was, to me at the time, a form of self-love. So each day I would challenge myself to think of some more things to add to the list. And, to be honest, it was really tough in the beginning. But as the days went, and the more I practiced this, the easier it actually got. Because remember, the more grateful we are, the more that we look for things to be grateful for, and the more gratitude we'll find. And that's how our brains are wired. Okay, so you give it a task and it will search for any evidence to back it up. Okay, so focus on the gratitude. So that part worked so well that as a next step, I decided to look for the gratitude in the relationship ending. It was actually really wonderful to sit back and sort of imagine what my new future might look like. I found the gratitude in the freedom that I'd have, and maybe the new friendships I'd make, or the new countries I would visit. And eventually it felt good to find the gratitude in, I might actually be able to find a partner who loves me and cares about me and values me the way that I want to be, right? And that was a turning point for me. Once I opened myself up to that possibility, everything shifted. And I want to just point out that during this process, I practiced a lot of self-love. So, I spent a lot of time in the sun by the pool. I worked out almost every day. I read a lot of books. If I wanted to nap, I napped. I went for at least a full body massage at least once a week, sometimes a lot more. So I did one thing every day that made me feel really, really good. It's easy for us to sit and wallow in our depression. I could have totally sat there for a lot longer than I did, but I chose to feel better. And you can make that decision as well. So lastly, and this was the point that I sort of struggled with the most, I think, and that was to forgive myself. In the process of beating myself up through this situation, you know, I had a lot of stories going on in my head about me not being good enough, or not pretty enough, or I didn't do enough in the relationship, or I mean, I had a laundry list of things that I had done wrong in the relationship, and you know, which caused it to end. And in the end, you know, I had to accept my part of the responsibility of the relationship falling apart. Not the whole thing, because I wasn't completely to blame, right? There's two people in a relationship. I recognized that he had his part to play as well. I had to work on rebuilding my self-love, my self-trust. Going back to Wednesday's, you know, talk. Go and see that if you haven't. But, you know, I had to learn to put me first. That was something that I had never done. You know, it was really hard. And so I also chose to focus on gratitude instead of the guilt. So remember, forgiveness is a process, and it's not something that's going to happen overnight. So you need to be patient with yourself, and you need to just be kind. Okay? So let's just recap real quick. So number one, grieve for the relationship, okay? But don't stay there, okay? I know so many women who have been holding on to anger, resentment, bitterness, all those emotions for years, not months, years and years and years, okay? Don't be that person, okay? Let's be honest, all that those emotions are doing is hurting you, not the other person. The other person has probably moved on by now. You're the one sitting here still ruminating, you know, and wishing that things were different. You can choose to be happy, okay? You can choose to start letting go of those emotions today. All it takes is a simple decision to start putting yourself first. Okay? Choice is yours. Number two, look for the lessons in the relationship, because that will make sure that you do not make those same mistakes again. Okay? Number three, look for the gratitude in the relationship. So what are all the things that if they were sitting in front of you, you could say thank you. Thank you that, you know, we had those experiences. Okay? That's maybe hard to do at first, but you really need to dig deep. Okay? That's where the magic lies. 4, look for the gratitude in the relationship ending. Okay? Ask the question of why this is happening for me instead of to me. Okay? That will really help you to change perspective. Yeah, at all. I promise. Number 5, take time for yourself, for self-love every day. Do at least one thing every day. 30 minutes, longer is better, but 30 minutes minimum, okay? And I would definitely recommend things like meditation, yoga, workouts, you know, walk around the block, just get your body moving, getting out into nature, listening to your favorite jams, cook yourself your favorite meal, just make some biscuits. Anything that makes you feel good, that is what you need to do every day. And number 6, forgive yourself. You weren't the only party in the relationship. We all have our parts to play. And I can tell you that once you're in that state of gratitude and you follow the process that I've just shared, the act of letting go and forgiving the other person as well as yourself gets so much easier. Okay? And just a reminder, forgiving somebody does not mean that you condone their behavior or their actions. Forgiveness just simply means that you accept what has happened. You accept that, you know, this is where you're at now, and you're choosing to move past it, and you're choosing to move on with your life and instead of ruminating over the past events and hoping and wishing that things would change, because they're not going to. Okay, truth bomb right there. It is what it is. The only thing that you can do is make the choice to move on, or whatever your reaction is going to be. You are only in control of you. You're in control of your actions. You're in control of your emotions. So just forgiveness is okay. And again, if you can see that this is happening for you instead of to you, this opens a whole new world of possibility and gets you out of that victim mentality. And when you can look into the future and see the possibilities that await you, you'll wonder why you continue to hold on to the past. So if you are still struggling to get past this situation and letting go, I am going to be opening up my 90-minute intensive slots from the 1st of May, and we can spend a full 90 minutes digging into the challenge and clearing away your limiting beliefs and emotional blocks around the situation, so that you can stop holding on to the past and you can start moving into the future and into happiness. Okay, I'm only planning on opening up 10 slots each month. So if that sounds like something that you'd be interested in, drop me a DM and I'll let you know when it launches. I'll add you to the waitlist. I really want to just thank you for joining me today, and I would love to know what your biggest takeaways were from today. So I'd love to hear in the comments below, so let me know. I hope it was really helpful. I know that this is something that has helped me many times when I've been in a situation where I've been angry and resentful of people. So I really hope that this is something that can help you too. And again, if you've got any follow-up questions, leave them in the comments below and I'll get back to you about that too. And I'm looking forward to seeing you guys on Wednesday, and we're going to be talking about self-acceptance and how to shut up that inner critic that we all love so much. Tracy, you'll know me and my finger puppets. I look forward to seeing you guys there. So have yourselves an amazing weekend, and if you're out in New Zealand and Australia, have a wonderful long weekend with Anzac Day on Sunday, and I will catch you Wednesday. Have a great weekend, everybody. Bye.